All right, so I've pulled the bags back off. I took my steel off. I marked around the fronts of the bags with a marker. So basically, I want to cut this. This is the back side. I'm just going to round it off so there's not a sharp jagged edge sticking up there. This is how the bag's set in the front. So there's a slope here. I'm just going to try to round it up in here the best I can. And I'm just going to round this off around the bolt hole. That way it's just not sharp jagged edges. Again, I don't do this for a living. I don't have any special plasma cutters or anything. I'm going to take a grinder. I'm going to grind it off and I'm going to do the best I can with it. Put them back on there, paint them up, and see what happens. Alright, so there's one of two. And again, I'm just using a regular old angle grinder. I've got a cutting blade in there. I'll put a like a grinding blade on it and just smooth off the edges. But I think this is going to work out pretty good. Alright, so there's my two pieces ready to go. If this was a finished part, I could actually take some more time and smooth that a little bit better, but I took a sander afterwards, just sanded the top off. I'm going to take some paint prep, prep the surface, and get them painted. As you can see, dark clouds moving in, so I'm going to have to hold off on the paint for a little while. So I need to get them inside and covered up, that way they don't get wet, because these will rust probably almost immediately. First drop of water on them, they're going to get nasty. Okay, so while I'm waiting for the storm to pass, I went ahead and prepped my surfaces, finished sanding off any small birds I had. I used a paint prep. I kind of like this stuff here, this TSP. It seems to be a pretty good cleaner. I've never had any problems with anything not sticking after I've sprayed it with this. So I got it on a clean surface, make sure I wore gloves, don't get any fingerprints on it because you don't want your paint to come right back off. And again, I'm just going to spray them with a primer, spray flat black. Again, it's just, they're going to be hidden underneath there. You're never going to see them again. I just don't want them to start rusting. So I'm going to make sure I paint them really good. Try not to slop them up too bad. Alright, so I took a chance in between squalls here. I got both sides of it painted. It's dry, it's past tacky. Again, looks like another squall getting ready to hit me, but I think they're good enough. At least I don't have to worry about them rusting overnight on me. I'll probably just go ahead and bolt them back on the bike. I'll let them dry, at least for a few more hours, maybe overnight, and then I'll put the bags back on there. Alright, so there they are, bolted back on. I can take a little paint if I wanted to and just daub the heads of the screws. Flat black those out, but again, the bag's going to cover them, so I'm not too worried about that. I'm also probably going to take it back off again to do the sissy bar anyhow, so for now though, again, I smoothed all this out so there's no rough edges on it anymore, no place to get cut. When I was prepping it, I made sure I used the microfiber towel, and if it would have snagged anywhere, I took it and just sanded it up a little bit. So no rough edges anywhere, primed, painted, ready to go. Alright, so there's the finished look with the mounting brackets cut and in place. As you can see, I cut off the jagged edges. I hit them in there pretty good. You can't really tell where they're at. Rounded off the back edge so there's nothing sharp sticking out anywhere. What I'll probably end up doing is taking the black paint that I painted these with and just spraying it in the lid, and I'll just daub the bolts in the back so they don't stand out as much. So on the inside of the saddle bags, you can see I just used the holes that where the quick connects actually came through at, attached them to there. Pretty solid. On the bottom, I just used the strap that came with it, tied it around the bar at the bottom there. So it actually holds on pretty good. The bags don't wobble, they're nice and tight. They're even on the back, so I've got the same amount of spacing on there. Although it's tight, I do have clearance between my tail lights or my turn signals and the bags. Same on the shocks, it's snug, but there's clearance there. Same on this side, there's a little more clearance on this side than the other side. If I had to, I could put a couple washers behind the other side and like bring the other side out a little bit. Or again, I could pull this back off, drill those mounting brackets and push the bag back a little further. I think I'm just going to ride it like it is and see what happens with them. I think the worst thing that would happen would I'd rub a little bit of the leather off the front of the bag, but again, I've sat it on it, I've taken it for a quick ride. Don't really see anything wrong with it where it's hitting at. As soon as I come up with a sissy bar idea, I'll post that. And if I come up with something to do with that bottom spot down there, I'll let you know also. I've got a couple ideas. Got to play with them a little bit before I throw them out there, but I think I might have a solution for it.